Okay, so we are finding the old historic leech wells, and Google did not help me find them. Google kept sending me up and down a street and then jumping forward the whole screen of the phone and telling me I'd gone too far. So I've walked up and down the same street looking like a right weirdo, but in Totnes you can get away with acting like a weirdo. You look weird if you're weird if you're normal in this place, I tell you. I'll find some locals in a minute, I'm sure. They look like they got dressed in the circus, a lot of them. Aha, right, here we are. This is it. This is where the lepers would come to be healed and get to the leech well bit. Yeah. Right, these ribbons, they are called something. What are they called? The Druids tied these cloths to the rails and they call them clouties. Yep, so that's what the Druids have put here. Tell ya, Totnes is full of a real assortment of people. Okay, right, so these little spouts have got names. This one here is called Toad, and it does actually look like a toad's head. Probably was some time ago. Okay, this one in the middle is called Long Crippler, and apparently that's a type of slow worm that one's named after. And the one on the end here is called Snake. Now everything with these wells is done in threes. So there's the 3 spouts, 1, 2, 3. There's the 3 troughs, 2, 3. There are 3 pools into which the well pours. The well is sited at the junction of 3 lanes. Well, I can vouch for that, that is. And there's a lower immersion pool which was accidentally found, and it's a triangular shape and it's 13 feet long. It was identified as an immersion pool, and which was associated with they call these the Leech Well Holy Wells, and it became listed as an ancient monument in 2005. So I assume that the immersion pool is actually down the bottom of that hill down there. So we should have a look and see if we can find it. But yeah, this is where the lepers came from far and wide to splash this water on themselves and other people that were really ill. There's a water since the 1400s to today. There are named wardens which are in charge of these leech wells. Here we go, look, there's a little sign up here, didn't see that. It says the Leech Well, a water source of its name has been recorded here since the 13th century. Wardens were appointed to ensure its care, and the names of wardens between 1405 and 1475 are known. This office still exists today. The 3 troughs are known locally as Snake, Long Crippler and Toad, and it was believed that the water had healing qualities for snake bite, joints, eyes and skin diseases. scheduled as an ancient monument by English Heritage in 2002. So wow. See, I've lived around here all this time, and I've never ever been down here. Never. Right, I'll walk down the hill a bit and I'll see if I can find this triangular immersion pool. I'm in a little area called Leechwell Gardens. So this has just been built for the public to use as a little recreation area. I never knew this was here either. They've got a little play area for the kids. But what's this water backs onto the leech wells. The wall just behind us there, in front of us, sorry, that is the back of the leech wells. So this is the same water that comes out, and just looking at it, look, somebody's put a little a troll a little troll sat there. How bizarre. I'll tell you, Totnes, anything goes here. If it's a bit wild and wacky and not the norm, it's here. I'm just gonna walk down this way a minute because I've thought, you know, this is a really sweet thing actually for kids to. The water seems to go down through the park, and then they've got like a little sandy streamy area to play in, which is nice for the summer and that, because nature area. It's a nature area, but yeah, so I'm not quite sure where the triangular immersion pool would be. Probably right down the bottom of the hill somewhere. I'll wander down there and have a look. I've got to go down to come back up the high street anyway, so bit of walking never hurt anybody. Right, Vix? Hey, good girl. Yeah, while I'm sat here, I'll tell you a little bit about what Totnes town is like the present day. They say it's the capital of pseudoscience. There's more healers, channelers, anything to do with natural alternative medicine. There's more clinic little places offering that sort of treatment than anywhere else, long before it became something that people would look into. I mean, these days it's quite accepted, but in the 80s, when I suppose people were doing it in their homes before, and then they branched out and started doing it from the buildings in the town. And you know, back then it was looked upon as a bunch of quacks, you know. And how they'd operate is you'd go in and see them, and say if you had a knee complaint, and they'd hold their hands like above the area, they wouldn't touch it, and you'd feel this. I had it done actually on my knee, and I felt this really, really strong heat, really strong. And I didn't even tell her where the pain was. She didn't want to know, and she just held her hands above me as I laid on this, like a bit like a massage table. And she just ran her hands over the top about 3 inches above my skin, and she stopped over my knee, and she concentrated there for about half an hour, and I could feel that this real immense heat. It didn't hurt, but it was burning. And when I left, all they asked for was a donation. So I left a donation. I think it was tenner or something. And I wasn't swayed one way or the other. I was open-minded, very open-minded to it. Nothing else would help. Physio, nothing. And I tell you what, I came out of there and I went round to my friend's house and I slept for hours. I just could not keep my eyes open. So she'd done something, and it definitely helped. So I didn't have them down as being quacks. But I suppose they put up with some stick from, not in the town, but from outsiders, from the neighbouring towns. They think Totnes is very hippified, if you like. But and it is. There's lots of different types of people here. There really is. They went green way before global warming or anything like that was guilting people into making more of an effort. Recycling, everything like that. They were way ahead of it. In fact, one of the main organic farms was started here on the outskirts of Totnes. They got the land certified as organic after having it for so many years with no fertilizers or anything like that used on it. Got it certified as organic, and they provide veg boxes and that to restaurants and people's homes, and they're doing really, really well with it, really well. So yeah, it's all good. Right, I've got to crack on. I've got to find this blooming triangular immersion pool. Here's another part of the town's ancient little walls. No, I don't know where this immersion pool is, I really don't. Water doesn't run uphill, so it's not this way. I don't know. The only thing it could be is right down the bottom. So what we'll do is instead, because I can't find it, if we stumble across it, then all's good. But we'll walk down to the bottom where the river comes up, and then we'll go up through the town. Right, so we are back in the high street. We're at the lower bit now. Somewhere around here is something called the Brutus Stone, where apparently Brutus who accidentally killed his father, Brutus the Trojan, accidentally killed his father, and he set off to Greece with his army, defeated King Leprosy, and the king gave Brutus his daughter to marry, and he ended up giving him 300 odd ships as well, loaded up with wares. And one of the ships and Brutus ended up in Totnes, And apparently it was he who named Totnes. Look at the old pub windows. You don't really see them very much like that these days. So yeah, and rumour has it that Brutus actually named Britain after himself as well, because before Britain was known as, oh god, what was it called? I had this written down somewhere. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I can't see where I wrote that. Albion. England was called Albion. Well, Britain. Yeah, there's two brand names, that's Superdrug and WH Smith. That's about as commercial as you get. Oh, where is this Brutus stone? I don't think it's this far down. I spoke to my mum about it earlier and she said, oh, it's down the bottom. And I said, I'm sure it's up the top. I said, I've seen it. I've seen the painting on a shop, the bottom of a shop saying Brutus stone. And she said, oh no, it's not, it's down the bottom. Apparently Brutus stood on the stone and said these words: here I stand and here I'll rest, and this town shall be called Totnes. He's clever saying that, wasn't he, when he was foreign? Perfect English. No, there's no Brutus stone down here. What is she talking about? Tell you what, never listen to your mother, guys. If they're anything like mine, she's done me wrong. Okay, right, we're coming to the river. So, across the road. And this will be the last bit, the last leg of the tour of Totnes. Right, Chloe, come over here. I tell you what, most of these people, they can't live here because they're not dressed in the usual attire that you see. Quite disappointed. When we drove round, before I parked the car, we found quite a few people wearing jaunty outfits. It's typical, isn't it? You get the camera out, you tell people about something and whoosh, gone. Gone. They all look like New Age travellers, basically. Okay, Via Island. Twinned with Via. Via. Go over. That's right, Totnes has got two bridges to get into it. That's one, that's the old bridge. Cheers. And this is the River Dart. Let her off. Here it is. So this is, it's 7 miles out to sea from here. And this river goes all the way up to the moorland Dartmoor, which is a big national park. It's like Devon's outback. It's just rugged, full of old tours, legends galore. So when we're allowed to be a bit more adventurous, there's quite a lot of little places up on the moor that I'll do videos on. There's Jay's grave being one of them. Then there's the church that was built up on top of Tor, Bryn Tor Church. The legend with that is they were going to build the church at the bottom of the hill, so they had all the granite stone and everything to build it with, and then they turned up the next day to start building, and the devil had moved all the stone up to the top of the Tor in order to prevent people from attending the church. You know, if they had to climb up a mountain near enough to get in through the doors, they weren't likely to get there. So yeah, it's just one of many stories about Dartmoor. But yeah, there's the one supermarket in Totnes. They allowed that one. Although I think most of them here eat tofu. It's that kind of place. And what I'll do is I'll finish up this. You didn't see the Brutus stone, but this is Brutus Bridge, built or finished in the 80s at some point, obviously named after Brutus, the town discoverer or namer. Sent here by an oracle named Diana, told that this western island had giants living on it, and Brutus had better go and slay these giants, I suppose. I don't know, these crazy legends, where do they come from? Brutus Bridge. Yeah, there we are. Brutus Bridge. And that's about it. That is the tour of Totnes. If you like the videos, give them a like, subscribe. I will try and do a bit of local history stuff. I'll try and do it every week. If not, as and when I can. It'll only be the weather that stops me. Alright, thank you very much.